Hello and welcome to Odessa the Dark Crusade, Season 2. After a quite long journey to one of the mm, grandest cities in the world, presumably, um, Madeline returns to the city of Odessa. Constantinople is one of its kind, maybe two of its kind. She hasn't seen Rome, but, well, she's heard stories. Anyways, coming home to Odessa from Constantinople is not a letdown, but it is considerably smaller. But yeah, Madeline has not bothered to do anything else. Her free ghouls and her are just head more or less straight for Madeline's Haven, moving in what few things they took with them. It could be carried. It's not that big of a deal. But yeah, Madeline returns to her haven. She will, as she gets in, just have a look around, leaving this long, who knows? There just might be a few things missing. You never know.
Which she probably wouldn't feel very good about.
No, she would be fairly pissed, but oh well.
Everything seems to be as she left it. She goes prowling the halls, kind of immersing herself back in the feel of her home, her space, this place that is designed to accommodate her needs and fulfill her desires. It takes a little while for her to go prowling through her house, and when she slips down into the tunnels underneath, into the areas that she and Memnon have dug as escape routes and hidey holes and secrets. She feels the darkness close in around her in a way that is probably not at all objectionable. She's used to the darkness, right? Doesn't she have dark sight?
Oh yes, she does.
Mm-hmm.
Once she's down here where there is no natural light, she's also made it so there are a couple of doors. The oxygen contents down here, like the ghouls normally don't go down here. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
it's stale and it's bordering on the fact that it's sure there's some draft, but it
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't take long in the grand scheme of things for there to be lowish oxygen down here. Um, but yeah, she
Does she
is
do her doors seal?
almost. I don't think you can say that in this time that doors were made that well.
Not unless you
Able to.
really worked at it. It'd be very hard to keep a low oxygen level down here unless she was really working to seal it.
Well, obtenebration tends to
But that is absolutely a thing. Does she really
accelerate
turn?
that process, and that is mostly why I'm saying that
Okay.
it tends to be lower oxygen down here, or if there isn't, it happens quite quickly afterward.
Mm-hmm. Totally legit. She doesn't bring any kind of a light with her. She just kind of stalks through the dark, right?
Yeah, her eyes turn completely black, and she can see fine.
Okay. So she goes roaming through her tunnels. Um, I'm assuming just kind of to refamiliarize herself with them, just kind of enjoy them. And as she has quite an extensive tunnel network, and as she moves from one passage to another, um, opens a door between passages. Her heightened senses, even without aspects, note as she's closing the door, that the air smells different. She's right by the river. Madeline's domain is right by the river, so all of her tunnels tend to be fairly damp, even though they're well constructed. Memnon has a lot of experience, and even though they're well constructed, and often tend to run into old tunnels, currently unoccupied, or so far they have been. They tend to be damp and musty, and once the oxygen goes, there are certain kinds of mold that grow very well in anaerobic environments. So she closes the door behind her and realizes almost immediately that this place smells remarkably fresh. This tunnel that she's just stepped into. It's still dark.
Hmm. She looks around slowly, takes a deep in, smells the air. When you say fresh, is it fresh air or fresh
It doesn't
water?
smell like spring. It's fresh air. It's she's been in walking through these musty, damp places that are basically dark and cold and wet, and the air here just smells fresher. It smells more like above.
Hmm. She's gonna have a look at that. She's gonna check out where this might be coming from.
I'm setting us up in dice roller 2 unless you've already set us up.
Oh yeah, sure.
Okay. Will you please go ahead and roll me your perception alertness? And are you activating Auspex?
Yeah, she would. She
Okay.
actually would have done that before,
Sure.
as
That's
soon as
totally
she
legit.
heard the thing, or smelled the thing.
Uh-huh.
And I think that's gonna be that. And she has
Nope, you rolled in 1.
three, depending on the difficulty.
Okay.
Because I don't know if it's reduced by aspects, but oh, we'll see.
So you activate your Auspex and you're kind of paying much keener attention. The first thing you notice is that the air, while it smells fresher, there's some strange smells that you can't quite place. But one of them smells very much. You get a very faint smell of blood, and a very human smell. The odors of a human who sweats and hasn't washed in some time.
Hmm. Oh, Madeline readies herself.
The other
Probably,
thing that you notice is that there's a bit of a breeze.
probably spends a couple of blood points actually.
Okay, go ahead and put it in the side chat if you would.
Yeah. Just and yeah, she begins to move up, somewhat slowly.
Is she generally following the breeze?
Yeah.
Because she knows this tunnel fairly well. There's no breeze here. There's no place to get a breeze from. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what's worrying her.
So she moves down the tunnel and into the breeze, towards the breeze, probably sniffing to see if she can catch what's coming down on the wind. And that faint smell of person gets stronger. As it gets stronger, she starts to have to turn her head upwards to catch the breeze because it seems like it's coming from above. And finally, she finds in the ceiling a hole. There is a hole in the roof of her tunnel.
Does it look like a cave-in?
It does not. It looks like someone dug a hole.
What can she see up there? Is it dark, or is there some sort of light up?
It's just dark. She can see with her dark sight. She can see stone, but she can also see that it turns fairly quickly. It doesn't stay. It's not a much of a tall hole.
Well, she is gonna climb up.
Okay. Um, as she reaches up and starts to try and find footholds and handholds, roll your perception alertness again.
That is 3,
1,
4.
2, 3, 4, 4. Diff 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes. Okay. You hear, it's a little bit hard to climb. The stone's really, it's kind of up above, but, she's a Cainite. She's dexterous as shit. So she manages to, squirrel her way up there. And just as she's pokes her head into the hole and starts pulling herself up, she hears a kind of a scuffling noise from the tunnel she just left.
Hmm. She is going to. Yeah, she's gonna jump down,
Okay.
and she's going to say. She's gonna speak fairly loudly. She's gonna turn off. No, she's gonna keep on aspects. But she's gonna say, "Show yourself."
As you drop down and you talk, you hear behind you a soft chuckle, and it's very familiar. She's met this person before. She knows the distinctive deep voice, which I may or may not keep doing because, man, I don't have enough water here.
Yeah, it's fine.
But she hears his chuckle, and almost as soon as she hears it, she knows who it is. Good evening, neighbor.
Ah, good evening. Uh, well, we are neighbors, but you should let me know that you are coming. I might say that you are in my domain.
Might you? Here
Yes,
under the earth?
yes. Since I built some of these new tunnels, yes, I would.
Oh, you think that carving into the face of the earth makes it your face? He's smiling at her. His um his demeanor isn't cocky. She's seen him with other people, and she's seen him be flat out rude to Hewat. But there's kind of a sideways smiling, like, what's the word I want? He's not coming at her, even if he's asking questions that disagree with what she's said. What bargains have you made with my older brother to give you the right to put shovel to earth down here? Uh-oh, did I lose you? Balls, balls, balls. Come back. Peter, can you hear me? That's awkward. Yeah.
And
Welcome back.
yeah,
What was the last thing you heard?
what is the word I'm looking for when describing his smile or cockiness or
Oh,
something?
wow, okay. Yeah, so he's not coming at her. He's um he's questioning her, but there's kind of a almost a teasing note to it rather than a challenging note.
Hmm.
It's very sideways. And he's going to say, What agreements do you have with my older brother? I give you the right to tunnel here.
Your older brother?
The Primogen.
Ah, well, I was not under the assumption that I would require any agreement to dig under my own haven.
No. To enter into the earth?
I have done so many times.
Well then. Welcome.
Thank you.
I fear I did not bring you a housewarming present.
Well, if you are invited, I would welcome such a gift. But she looks upward. Or is it you who have made this fine addition?
He glances up and kind of squints at it and says, Maybe with some help. I'm
Hmm.
not particularly inclined towards tunneling myself.
Well, where does it lead? If I may ask.
Deeper into the earth?
Hmm. Ah, I see.
You should be careful where you tunnel down here. Do you not know that there are many places we claim?
Hmm. I know. I know a little something of the reach of your clan. It is very impressive.
So if you
But
happen to come across a tunnel already formed, What will you do, I wonder?
Well, now that you say it, I might just have a talk with the Primogen. Unless, of course, he would simply deny me any sort of access.
I don't know his mind. He might. Does he like you?
Well, most of your clan, I think, holds a certain resentment for me.
So I
Not
have
all.
heard.
There are a lot of people. They are not alone. Quite a lot of people hate me. With quite a passion.
Why
But
is that?
not you. Oh, many reasons. I show them the truths that they desperately hide from. And that might make you an honest person, but it will not bring you many friends.
What truths have you shown my clan, I wonder?
Ask Mother. I have shown her quite a few.
When you say that, he, frowns. He looks away. Perhaps I will.
Do you not know that she was left for dead?
I do know.
It was I who pulled her out.
This is your truth.
One of them.
I've heard the story, but it would appear that there's more to it than I have heard. Perhaps you will
Also,
favor me
because,
with it.
well, the truth I told her was that the pain she felt by whatever Garnet did and whatever pain she might gain from her legs were not, well, from them being separated from her under that pile of rocks and that cave in. That was not pain. Uh, it was pain, but pain is a teacher, and she should look past it. She should take in every ounce of agony she was put through, mental and physical, and embrace the strength within herself. But that is my truth.
And she didn't take it well then.
She did take it well. We became friends.
He shakes his head very quickly, several times, like he's chasing off that thought. She does not resent you then.
Do
Did
not think
not
so?
resent you.
No. But many other people clearly do.
You mean that others are liars who hide their feelings for you?
And the feelings from me, well, they're pragmatic. They are, well, our kind. We are always courteous to a fault, trying to hide our. We all hide our feelings for each other.
Surely you must mean La Sombra.
Have you ever met a Ventru, a Toreador, Tremere?
Plenty.
Hmm. And you would not say that they despise each other and the people within their own clans, and do not show it 1 ounce?
You said our kind. I assume you did not mean the Nosferatu.
No, not your kind, not your clan. You have a certain honesty that comes with. She comes closer and just takes a hand, slides it just gently on his, well, malformed face, really.
Mm-hmm.
Your particular curse. There is an honesty, a strength in it. Something that I appreciate.
You are too kind, Sister Madeline.
No, I am merely speaking the truth. She leans in. Some might seem this as too kind. I'll let you be the judge. She reaches slowly, but well, somewhat fast, around his face, and she kisses him.
There's a moment of shock. He was definitely not expecting that. Um, and for just a moment, she feels almost like a tremor go through him, like the beast has rattled its cage.
As she just parts. After a little, she just says, "Hmm, was that too kind? Or a friendly neighbor?" She cocks her head slightly and smiles at him.
His voice is a little bit more raspy when he says, "Was it done for kindness?"
Hmm, I do not know.
If you do not know your own motives, how can you think you know the motives of others?
That is a good question. Perhaps I wanted you to ask questions. Or perhaps I just wanted to gauge how. Hmm, good questions. I'll take that.
He peers at her very intently, not quite sure how to take this particular train of thought.
Hmm, well, give it time.
His clothes, by the way, especially since she's been very, very close, they smell very, very human. Um, Bodily fluids and sweat and, the accumulated.
Yeah,
Um,
unwash.
yeah, exactly, which is not something that vampires really put off. If vampires get dirty, they're just dirty, but they don't
Hmm,
shed skin cells like humans do. His clothes smell like an unwashed human
hmm,
in a very particular, natural way.
hmm.
And there's still that slight tang of blood about them. It's a
Did,
very earthy experience.
hmm. She looks at him. She looks him up and down. And did you kill whoever wore this before you?
His brows raise. I did not.
Hmm.
Do you care?
Yes, I do.
Do you?
Hmm.
I'm fascinated. I would not have guessed you on the path of humanity, not from the stories I've heard of you.
I am not. But it is not everyone. Just because you are not via humanitas, you are, does not mean that you do not appreciate killing those who can be spared. Those who are just beginning. those who are just starting to learn, destroying people, killing. No one gains from it. There is no reason for it. Sometimes we must defend ourselves, certainly. But I avoid killing. I try. I have killed before, but it is rare. Much, much rarer, perhaps, than what shall we call it? Rumors would say.
Fascinating.
But tell me, what rumors have you heard? I'm interested.
One does not ask a Nosferatu to give up his rumors, as one does not ask a Ventru to hand over a jewel.
Well, I will guess then.
Please?
A hillish beach that is enjoys torturing or harming people, seemingly out of some sort of vindictive path or some sort of cruel sense of self-importance, twisted, evil.
Is that how you think of yourself?
No,
Is it how you'd like to be known?
no. But
How
I
would you
know it
like to
is
be
what,
known?
well, I know this is what some very, very foolish and unwise people who would perhaps convince themselves they wanted to see me as. To better rest in the knowledge that they are on the true path, that they are correct and I am wrong. Life, unlife, existence is a lot more complex than people on the main roads of the prophet and such seem to make it.
I see. It is complicated. Disagree
Yes.
with you about whether or not morality is as uncomplicated or is as complicated as you say.
I was not necessarily speaking of morality, but that is, from most perspectives, in most situations, quite simple. Most of the time, we do not have problems discerning a moral and an immoral action. But life does tend to happen in, well, fringes of that. Those decisions that we remember are when it is not as clear cut.
I see. So, what is it that you want with these tunnels? If you are
Hmm.
not seeking entrance into the lands of the Nosferatu, what are you doing down here?
Why? One must always be prudent. If one comes to burn down your house with you in it, one must be able to escape.
He smiles. Prudent indeed.
And that is the main reason. You can bar the doors if someone attacks you. And before they get inside, before they truly know what is happening, you are far, far away.
It is a common tactic of the Nosferatu. Barring doors.
And it is a very good one. I might
I
have
will.
I might have other things to do down here. It will be close to my domain. I would not advise you to approach too close. But I will
No,
inform the Primogen when this happens, of course.
I've come to deliver warning. If you should find a tunnel, not of your own making, close it off. Do not explore. There is no safety down here in the places we walk.
Oh?
Oh, yes.
What do you mean?
I mean that should you stray, you may lose something important to you. A limb, your life.
Is this a threat?
No,
But
it is a neighborly warning.
but Clan Nosferatu holds the tunnels.
Oh, yes.
So
I should say there is no safety for you, Sister Madeline. Should you stumble across a tunnel of ours, and he points to the hole. Should you stumble across a tunnel of ours, your safety cannot be guaranteed there. Do not explore, simply block it back up. Turn another way.
very well. I
Good.
will not barge in on your domain.
Very wise.
So this one you have by assistance made. Do you want me to close this one up for you?
No, no. I assure you, you'll never see it again.
Thank you.
It's my pleasure. It is the neighborly thing to do. Though perhaps, now that you know it is here, you will know that once a tunnel has been carved, it is difficult to make it go away entirely. Maybe someday you'll need to hide there. Or maybe your escape routes will be well planned and you will know them well and use them better.
Hmm. I have certain things in mind.
The nights are about to become dangerous indeed. They have already become dangerous indeed.
Well, what do you mean?
I mean, the Venture has returned, and he wishes to take the city.
The what?
The city. The Venture wishes to take the city. Yeah, he almost snarls it, not as though he's mad at her, but as though there's something angry there.
Well, they are in control of the city.
Not that Venture. Herman.
Herman.
He is not
Hmm.
alone.
has he allied with, I wonder?
Seems
Oh,
to have many, many friends.
and the neighboring city. She swears a little in French. Now that is a problem. Who knows how far he has strayed?
Not far enough, for he has most certainly returned.
I thank you very much for this. Well, this this does require. She looks around. She's not looking for anything specific, but she's clearly thinking things. Right. Thank you very much.
It is the neighborly thing to do.
And you are a good neighbor. Please remember, if you wish something, you can come and visit.
I can be a good neighbor. I would prefer to be a good neighbor. He smiles, and it's kind of a strange smile. It's wistful.
Well, have a very good evening, neighbor.
And you as well. He bows, and unless she stops him, he sticks a foot on an outcropping of stone and goes to pull himself up into the hole.
She doesn't stop him. But she'll begin to go back. And yeah, she'll check the rest of the tunnels that's hers, and she'll be like, make sure that there's no other problems down here. But yeah, and then she'll sleep down here, I think.
Okay. Sounds good. Is there anything else you want to do tonight?
No, not at this time.
Thank you, player, for playing. Thank you,
Watchers
watchers,
for
for
watching.
watching.
Good night.